How's it going, guys? This is the Basic Bro Travel Show, bringing you the fire of truth and the light of information in these travel spaces. This is your boy Prometheus. Wanted to touch on a subject today that concerns quite a few guys, and that is, can short men win in the dating scene in 2025? Obviously, as a person who's 5'5", myself, that is a very concerning and important subject. The question is, can short men win in the dating scene in 2025, particularly overseas? And the answer is no and yes. And what I mean by that, guys, is as short guys, as short kings, as in my opinion, society comically puts it. I really don't like the name, but whatever. I guess it's better than Hobbit. Um, Short men have to first realize the dire straits that we're in. There can be no sugarcoating it. There can be no pretending. There can be no listening to what your dear old mama told you about how you're a handsome young man. And there can be none of that. You have to face cold reality. Being a short man, and by short, I mean, I'm going to say 5'8" and below. Now, I might be coming with an older calculation, being from a Generation X, but because these girls nowadays are talking crazy, they're saying anything under 6 feet is short, but I'm like trying to just give the benefit of the doubt. So I'm going to say but it might be, 5'9", but I'm going to say 5'8" and below, you would start hitting the territory where many people, many women would view you as somewhat short. 5'8", you can still make it in terms of not just being a total non-prospect for a lot of women, because at 5'8" you're still taller than most women. But 5'8" is kind of where the trouble begins. And anything below that, of course, is you're short. 5'7", you're short. 5'6", you're short. 5'5", you're definitely short. 5'4" and 3. 5'4", you're really short. 5'3", woo, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. So there has to be a recognizing of what that means. It's a deficit. It's a pretty significant negative, and there's no sugarcoating it. It's as bad or worse than being fat. And by fat, I mean obese. Because at least an obese person can lose weight. These days, people rarely do, but they can. If you're short, outside of a crazy surgery, that's $100,000 and might lead to osteoporosis. You're going to remain short forever. So we have to understand and accept that is not a good thing. It is a negative. And it is something that we as short men, short kings, have to accept and embrace. First of all, you have to realize the peril you're in. Now, a lot of people will say, including your dear mom, oh, you'll find a girl. And you, like me, may have even um, notice that, hey, I've always gotten girls. And we always hear about the legendary dude that everyone seems to know, the 4'11" guy in high school that got all the women, yet we never see it. We never see him in action. But there's always this legend of the 5'1" guy who got all the girls. Yes, there's always exceptions and exceptional folk. But if you try to base your life around an exception, you're going to be disappointed more times than not. Men have to live in the realm and the world of what's probable, not what's possible. You take in and you calculate and you take into consideration what's possible, but you do most of the crafting of your life on probability, because that's what's probably going to happen. Okay? So it's a must that us short men realize that we are in a perilous and negative zone. And we must know that before we will take action to do something about it. Us shorter guys have to realize the peril we're in so that we will be motivated to do something about it. If you believe what your mama is telling you, that everything's okay and everyone's equal, you will not act accordingly. Okay? Not all people are equal. We're equal in the eyes of God. We're equal in terms of our humanity and our soul as a soul. But in terms of how society views us, we are not all equal. That is a lie. And you know it's a lie. Look like I might have a delivery here. So, we have to accept the facts and we have to accept the truth before we will take steps to make things better. Well, look at this. Look at this here, guys. See.
Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Come on, Bunch, leave her alone. We have to realize the peril we're in for us to feel motivated enough to actually do something about it. Okay? We all know that taller men get more women. You may not realize that because you're not with your tall friend 24 hours a day or all the time unless you're, in high school. So you don't realize that for every one phone number that you get, he gets 7. You don't realize that, and he's not telling you because that's his normal. He thinks you're getting 7, but you're not. You're not getting 7. You're getting 1. But you guys don't discuss it, or you don't realize it, or maybe you do. And you may also notice that he's not special looking. In fact, you may actually look better than him. But by him being taller, by him being more statuesque, I guess you could say, perhaps his clothes look better on him because things are cut for taller people. He's getting more women. He's assigned a certain level of handsomeness just by being tall, while you are assigned a certain level of ugliness just by being short. You must understand this, short kings. And I know it's a bitter pill to swallow. You must understand this. It's not equal. Being short in the West, and really anywhere in the world, but especially in the West, is a huge negative. Let that sink in. It is a negative. And there's no way around it. Don't let them bring up Tom Cruise. I'm telling you all the things they're going to say. They're going to say Tom Cruise. Look at Tom Cruise. That's Tom Cruise. You're not Tom Cruise. They're going to bring up Tom Cruise. People are going to bring up Prince to make you feel better, as if you're Prince. They're going to even bring up Tattoo, the little guy that played Tattoo in the old 1970s or 80s show Fantasy Island, the little midget, because supposedly he was a ladies' man on the streets. You know, look, you're not Tattoo or whatever his name was. You're not you're not Tom Cruise by any stretch, and you're certainly not Prince. Okay? So don't look at Prince and think you can get Apollonia because he did. You cannot. Not without skill. Not without developing certain attributes and skills. And here's where we get to the bright side. Here's where we get to the yes. Because remember, I said no and yes. Here's where we get to the yes. But it's not easy. I need you to remember this. Let me scoop my chair. If you are short, in order for your height not to matter, you have to be exceptional in every other way. I will say it again. If you are short, especially if you're 5'6" and below, in order for your height not to matter, you have to be exceptional in every other way. There it is. So what does this mean? Well, I jotted down, as I usually do, a few things that I think most short kings need to take into consideration. I will go over them with you. Number one, in order for a short man to consistently be chosen over taller men, you must learn, pay attention to, and study human nature, female nature, and the nuances of each depending on your location. You have to become a student of human nature, number one. You have to understand humans, understand women, and understand how humans and women's think and react in the area in which you live and or pursue women. So, one example of understanding human nature is exactly what we're discussing. You understand that women generally like tall guys. That's human nature. You understand a part of female nature, right? How do you know? You don't really know. You just know. You understand that. That's a basic, but it is a part of female nature that you understand. Okay? You have to be able to understand what makes women tick to a certain extent. You don't need to be a guru, but you kind of need to have some basic skills under your belt. Don't I'll just throw some things out at you so you can get a gist of what I'm talking about. Um, don't speak too long on the phone. If you introduced yourself to a girl at a bar in a club, say your hello, say your greetings, and be out. Don't hover. They don't like that. You don't want to play the phone game of you once you get a number, you're waiting, counting down 3 days, but you kind of know you don't call her in 30 minutes. You kind of know to go at least a day before calling the phone number. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you don't want to wait 3 days because then she already knows the game and you look like you're playing a game. You don't want to lead with your money. But at the same time, you want to appear prosperous. Just certain things that everyone kind of needs to know about female nature. There are certain things that are universal to humans. Humans like generous people. So when it's appropriate, let's just say you're with a group of people and all of a sudden you decide to splurge. Hey, you know what? Drinks on me. I'm talking about your group, your group. You know what I mean? If you've got it, I'm just throwing out some examples. All humans like that, male or female. People like generous people. People like honest people. People like confident people. People like brave people. People like funny people. That's human nature. We all enjoy that. Then there's certain things, like I said, that are more female nature. Um, Women like guys that appear dominant. But, the basics. Then you need to understand the nature, the nuance of human nature and female nature in where you're traveling or where you live or where you are seeking um, dating options. Okay, so give you a quick off the head, off the dome example. Philippines. You can have two equally pretty girls. One brown skin, one, you know, Chinese colored, Korean, whiter skinned. The whiter skinned one, equally pretty, the whiter skinned one will be perceived as more attractive in the Philippines, almost by far. Why does that matter? Because you can use that to your advantage. This darker one might be equally pretty to you. She, eh, she'd be an easier to attract. Let's take Thailand, the Philippines as well. In America, youth is king. If a man is young, he and attractive, he is going to get the majority of the women. In the Philippines and Thailand, because of socio-economic conditions, women tend to look for an older man. I'll go a step further. There used to be in the Philippines, now I would like to see some comments here. And again, this is understanding the nuance of where you're at. We all know that in Southeast Asia, historically, the women wanted and loved foreigners, particularly white foreigners, right? Because they were perceived as attractive, being able to have pretty babies, because the babies might turn out with green eyes or whatever or the lighter, it make the kids lighter, and because the men were perceived to have money. Let me tell you something about changing nuances. The younger generation of Filipinas coming up, guess who they are starting at least to be more drawn to? The half Chinese, half Filipino men. Phil Chai or Chai Phil or whatever they call it. Why? Because the Filipinas are starting to figure out that the white American that they used to like really doesn't have the money that that they thought he has. They now know, oh, he's on a general relief pension. He's broke in America. He's rich here. I mean, he's doing okay here, but he's broke in America. They know that now. Whereas the Phil Chai actually owns a business in the Philippines. He's getting paid in pesos, but he owns an internet cafe, or he owns a coffee shop, or he owns whatever he owns. And so, because he's got the Chinese connection, but he's also Filipino, they're actually able to get a guy who's more closely aligned in their culture, who makes more money. That's something about the nuance that you have to know. Now, let me give you another one. Thailand. Now, we're talking changing. I'm not saying white guys aren't still it. I'm talking about recognizing nuance. A lot of the younger Thai women, including some of the slightly upper echelon, and what I mean, the girls that aren't just bar girls, the ones that are got regular jobs, some of them elite jobs, they're gravitating to black men, to at least black American men. Yes. The black men that actually have the courage and the bravery to approach a girl that might appear a little more intimidating because she's dressed in a business suit, or she's working in an insurance company. They're actually, especially if they're on the younger side, by younger I mean 21 to 28, many of them are attracted to black men far more than there used to be. I think there was a time where when a black man came to Thailand, he was pretty much going to deal with the bar girl circuit. It's not that way anymore. And you have to understand the nuance. So, I mean, those are two examples off the top of my head. But the bottom line is knowing human nature, knowing female nature, knowing what kind of turns women on in general, knowing what kind of turns women off in general, knowing that, hey, I can see that this girl is working out in the gym and is purposely trying not to make eye contact with anyone. I'm not going to just walk up to her and start trying to conduct a conversation. I'm going to wait until there's an opening. I'm going to wait until I can naturally engage her in conversation, because generally speaking, the gym is a place where people, women especially, kind of don't want to be bothered. Why? because you understand female nature. They're sweating, they don't have their makeup on. They're probably going to turn you down or shy away because they themselves feel insecure about themselves, not necessarily that they're completely unattracted to you. But if you are not overwhelmingly attractive enough to where she's going to just ignore her her apprehensions, then she's probably going to give you a polite no or give you some small talk and try to, discontinue the conversation. You kind of have to know body language and human, like I said, human nature. That's important. You have to become a study of that. Number two, you simply cannot afford to be bashful. You cannot afford to be shy. Now, in one of my earlier videos, I saw two very attractive Latinas that I saw walking into a bar, and I was not. It was unexpected. I was going to pick up some barbecue, so I wasn't dressed to impress. But I saw two what I felt were attractive Latinas going into a bar uh, during daylight hours, and I decided, you know what? Again, I didn't know these girls from Eve. I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go shoot my shot. I'm gonna go in there, give them my number, and see what happens. And I did that. It's on video. Now, was I success? Well, were they friendly? They were friendly. They were cordial. They gave me conversation. Was I successful? No. I got shot down like a B-17 over Germany. But the point is, I was brave enough to do it. And guess what? If I had seen two other Latinas that were attractive, I would have approached them. You cannot afford to be bashful if you're short, because you have to take every chance, because things are limited already. You can't limit yourself further by being too scared to talk to women. You cannot do it. You have to be brave enough to approach women. You have to. That probably should be number one, because with all the skill, with all the everything any and everything everything in your arsenal, is still going to come down to numbers to a certain extent. Like they say, it's a numbers game. It is, to a certain extent. But what you're trying to do, of course, is make it to where you don't have to go through so many numbers to get to a yes. But you're going to go through numbers. So you have to be brave enough to approach women. You can't be scared. You cannot be worried about rejection. And it does suck. I've been rejected in crazy ways. But let me tell you about rejection. I don't even remember the girls that, really, I mean, there was a couple of ones that were just crazy when, one girl started singing Different Strokes. But but outside of that one, I don't remember any of the rejections. I mean, I guess I could sit and try to think of them, but you won't remember them. You walk up, hey, what's up? I think you're very pretty. Can I get your number? Or I'd like to give you my number. I think you should give people your number, because, hey, you know what? It's less invasive. or your Instagram or whatever you feel comfortable giving them. And if they contact you, then you know for a fact they like you. You know, and it prevents you from begging and going overboard. You know what I mean? So, but you cannot afford to be bashful. You have to be able to step to women without concern or fear. That matters a lot. Okay, number 3. You must, and see, before I get to this one, the things that I'm saying right now are inner development. They're things that develop you as a person. They develop you. They make it to where you are a well-rounded, solid, confident individual. They don't really do anything magical to the girl. It's just all about personal development in you. Okay? These steps to increase overall you help build your confidence. And that, my friends, is the force. The force is simply an aura of extreme confidence. This is why, and let me detour a bit. I'm going to make this, what number, 3? I'm going to make this 3. This is why I believe in fashion. This is what I wore to the gym today. This is what I wore to the gym. Nothing crazy. Nike Vomeros, sweats from Old Navy, shirt from I don't know where, hat from Tilly's. But this is my gym fit. Why? Now, I'm not saying I'm dressed to go to the Oscars, but I'm dressed well enough to where if after I leave the gym, I go to the grocery store and I see someone attractive, I can approach them without feeling like I look like a bum. Or if I see someone in the gym that I think is cute and circumstances align where I can have a conversation with her, I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to do so. And I'm dressed well enough to where in a gym setting where, you know, a girl isn't expecting you to look like you're going to the BET Awards. She knows you're going to be dressed in gym attire, but I'm dressed well enough that in a gym setting, I could possibly earn some choosing signals. See, I hear a lot of guys talking about choosing signals. Choosing signals. Wait till you get some choosing signals. Well, what kind of choosing signals are you going to get if you're dressed like a bum? You're not going to get choosing signals. So you'll be waiting forever. Remember, we're short kings. We're already short. We can't be short, a bad dresser, broke, fat, ugly. We can't be all the things. Shy. You can't be all of them. If you are short, then you must be exceptional in every other area. Bottom line. If you want to get who you want or the type of girl you want. Now, I'm of the belief, and these are just my statistics, I haven't read this anywhere, I think most basic guys, basic bros, basic dudes, on average, get about 5 to 6 serious dates per year, and that might be generous. I think I'm not talking about the girl who's going to coffee with you because she hopes you pay her cable bill. I'm talking about women that are truly interested in you. I think most guys get about 5 or 6 dates per year. I'm talking about basic bros. I'm talking about basic dudes. Is that okay with you? Now, if that's okay with you, then fine. You don't have to make any changes because you're already getting that. You're already getting what you want. Go on with your viable, five true dates per year with girls that are actually attracted to you, 5 a year, and be happy. But I don't want that. And let's be honest, out of those 5, only one is going to really ring your chimes. Only one is going to really be someone you're truly, truly attracted to. Only one of the 5. If you're okay with that, then change nothing. But I'm not. I want 5 every 2 weeks of my choosing, of my style, of the level of woman I want. And I think you guys want that too. Okay, so we have to be exceptional. We have to step it up in every facet of life. Now, for those who aren't short, this really applies to you too. Because many of you are struggling just as much. But for the short kings, it's imperative. You have to get your fashion game and your fashion sense to a certain level. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be Gucci. You know, I was never that into fashion. I honestly, it didn't dawn on me the need to be that growing up. I was a skater, so I was into skateboarding. You don't really dress when in the 80s. That was before streetwear skating streetwear became hip and became the thing. You know, I was a skater when skating literally was not cool. You know what I mean? Girls thought you were a nerd. I was a skater. Signs coming up, no skating here, no skating there, no, you know what I mean? That was the era I was a skater. So I never really discovered the importance of dressing up. Then I was always on the muscular side, so I could wear a t-shirt and some jeans, and in my mind at that time, I pretty much attracted the women I wanted, or I thought I wanted. So I was happy. I didn't see the need. There's a need, guys. There's a need to dress nice. There's a need to be fashionable, guys. If you want to have more than what you've been getting. Now, if you're okay with the limited amount that you've been attracting, then no problem. Stay how you are. But I'm talking about being able to attract the 7s and better on a regular basis. The 7s and better on a regular basis. On a regular basis. What is a 7? A 7 is a woman that you and the people you associate with universally find pretty. Not okay, pretty. Pretty much you and everyone you know thinks she's pretty. Granted, there's going to be some differences of opinion, and you know, not everyone's going to think she's as pretty as the other person does, but you get my point. Generally speaking, you and everyone you know think she's pretty. She qualifies as pretty. Not gorgeous, but pretty. That is a 7. I didn't say cute. I said pretty. Cute is not a 7. You have to have your fashion game on. You have to be able to be exceptional in every other facet of life, or you're going to be dealing with the 4 or 5 girls per year that you've been dealing with, and or you're going to be dealing with luck. Just dumb luck. You're going to be dealing with every dog has his dayisms. Every dog has its dayisms. You're going to be dealing with a clock is right twice a day isms, where you just kind of luck up on a pretty girl once every 3 years. Now, if you're okay with that, that's fine. I'm not. That's too unreliable. And it only lasts for so long. Because once you start getting older, just you being cute ain't enough to get them 7s. You can't. You're only going to be able to rely on luck for so long. You need to be able to catch women's attention, to grasp and hold their attention. And you need to be able to, without any verbals, demonstrate you are a man of class and style. And you're to be taken seriously. But more importantly, dressing nice makes you feel better. Okay? When you know you're dressed, it's like wearing fake clothes. Like going over to Mike's Mall in Pattaya. There's a mall there called Mike's Mall. Every manner of knockoff you could want is there, and it's plain. Everyone knows it's a shopping store full of knockoffs. Now, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's room. I guess there's a place and time for that. I don't know when. I wouldn't dare. Why? Because it doesn't matter. For first of all, I'd be the one unlucky person to wear a fake shirt and meet a girl who can rub it and tell right away it's fake. That's the luck I have. But irregardless of that, I myself I don't want to feel like I'm in something fake. That would stunt the force. That would stunt my confidence a little bit. Like, oh man, no. Dressing nice does something within you. It makes you feel good. And so it adds to the overall package. Now, let me be honest. 8 times out of 10, most people aren't going to even know what you have on. They're not. They're going to see your Hellstar shirt, not even know what it is, 8 times out of 10. And even if they've heard of the brand, they're not going to know, oh, that shirt costs $200. That t-shirt costs $200. They're not going to know. They're not going to know. 8 times out of 10. But the people you want, the people who should know will know. But more importantly, you'll know. And that's going to put a little extra pep in your step. So don't think that just because you dress nice, you're going to be, start being treated like the Beatles. You're not. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, no one's going to react at all. But occasionally, from the right person, you will get that, oh, I like that shirt. Or you might not hear anything, But slowly over time, your reputation amongst your peers and amongst your gym and amongst the places you frequent you start to be known as the snappy dresser. It's the person with style. And before you know it, you know what? I'd like to introduce you to my cousin. You start getting invites. You start getting a little more attention. It's not instantaneous, but it's a one part of the whole. But it does matter. Okay, so again, that's keeping yourself fashion forward. And I had a joker in my comments when I was trying on the Yeezy shorts, and then I tried on the shorter shorts and the crop tank. Now, guys, I think most of you could understand that I'm just in the lab. I'm talking to you guys. I'm just trying stuff on. Hey, guys, I'm even saying, hey, this is too short. I realize this is too short. I probably wouldn't, I would order these a little longer. You know what I mean? Clearly, I'm just sampling stuff and trying some things out. I'm in the lab, just experimenting. This guy, and I left the comment up. Hey, somebody tell Unc that, he don't know what he's doing, and the elevator music he's playing sounds a hot mess, and he needs some help. Something along those lines. So I pull up his profile. I'm thinking I'm gonna see Pharrell, just someone dressed like, you know what I mean, up to date, just dressed like he's, left the Cannes movie festival. This bro looked like Run DMC Pap. He looked like a battle rapper with a breathing condition. He's dressed like I'm like, how dare you criticize? Like the picture in your profile is your finalized look. Like I'm just trying on stuff. So just so you guys know, like a lot of times I'll come on if I'm doing a review of some clothes or I'm trying to get some ideas or get some help. Hey, you guys, what do you think about this outfit? I'm just in the lab. That doesn't mean that's going to be the final look. So I just wanted to throw that out there about the fashion. Let me go with number 4. I lost count. Let me just go with the next one. Develop a skill that you're proud of. For me, when I make the move to Thailand or Philippines, because I'm not quite sure which place I'm going to live, but rest assured I'm going to live at least part of the year in either the Philippines or Thailand. I'm leaning towards the Philippines, Cebu. I've already spoken to a realtor about a condo there, so I'm looking there, but Thailand's calling my name as well. If I'm being honest, I don't know if I'll purchase, maybe I might rent a place in both areas or buy a condo in both areas, in both Thailand and Cebu, to be honest. So because I like them both. I like them both. But rest assured, I'm going to spend time in both areas. If I live in Thailand, I'm still going to spend a lot of time in Cebu. If I live in Cebu, I'm still going to spend a lot of time in Thailand. So I'm going to be going back and forth. Once I move to South, so I'll just say that. So I won't say Cebu or Thailand. I'll say Philippines or Thailand. I'll say Southeast Asia. Once I move to Southeast Asia, I'm going to take up my Thai kickboxing. Yes, I'm going to take it. Because I think in order to train your aura, the force, yourself, your esteem, your confidence. I think having a skill helps with that. Take kickboxing, take boxing, take karate. Learn a battle skill. Learn a battle skill, especially if you're a short king, because that actually might do you some good. You know what I mean? Having a skill where you're battle ready, where you can defend yourself, will help with confidence. It will help with self-defense. It will help with health because you're getting healthy as you're learning this skill. You're working out. You're doing whatever workout regimen that discipline has for you. You're building a team of friends, maybe some girls in the class. You know what I mean? So if you're overseas, you're connecting with locals perhaps. Because if I learn my Thai, I want to learn it from a true Thai person. So I mean, it will do you some good. Now, if for some reason you're a pacifist or you just don't want to, you just don't want to learn a fighting skill, then learn an instrument. But you need a skill, guys. You need a skill. You need one skill. One good skill. Okay? This should probably be number 5. Get in the gym, short kings. Get in the gym, short kings. You don't have to look like the Incredible Hulk, but you don't want people for 2 reasons. For 3 reasons. For 4 reasons. For how it makes you look, and your confidence, for your health. So men who are taller or bigger won't be so quick to run up on you, because I'm not Mike Tyson. But I don't think people just want to run up on me too fast. Not too fast. Not too fast. And I'm not I'm not no Billy Badass or nothing like that. But I can dial 911. I can dial 911 faster than a speeding. I can dial 911 so fast you don't even have time to get angry, muster up enough anger. Yo, homie, I heard you. Hello, 911. I can dial 911 super fast. You do want to keep yourself to where people kind of give you a second thought before they run up on you too fast. So you want to lift weights for that reason as well. And you do want women to feel a certain amount of protection from you, only because that's what they say. When women say, hey, I want a tall man, they mention the protection factor. They do. In almost every scenario, when you ask them, why do you want to talk? Well, I just feel more protected. I'm like, they want a scarecrow. They want someone who they just take a look at their man and kind of go, never mind. They want to date a scarecrow. So, but so you want to have your physique to where you can defend yourself, or at least defend yourself long enough for help to arrive. You know what I mean? So get in the gym. It will make you feel better about yourself. It'll boost your confidence. I can go on, but maybe I'll do a part 2, but I'll end it right here for now, at least. Number 5 or number 6 or number 7 or wherever we're at now. You have to get your finances to an above average level, guys. And that kind of goes without saying, but sometimes even the things that go without saying need to be said. You have to develop your finances to an above average level, especially if you're a short king. This may sound bad, but it's the truth. Enough money equals height, but it's delayed. It's delayed. But enough money equals height. What do I mean by that? I have had women that I may have been dating casually, and then they stopped talking to me and start dating some 6'5" dude. And in my mind, I thought, wow, well, I guess I'll never, she got a 6'5" dude. I guess I'll never hear from her again. And within a year or so, hello, hey, big head. Whoa, what do you want? How are you doing? They're calling back. And sometimes, just being honest, if they said, hey, want to meet for coffee, curiosity got the better of me. Plus, and again, this is why I mean by developing your skills, developing the force, and maybe even changing your location. I hadn't done all those things, and so I went on that coffee date that I was invited on, that I probably should have never went on. Yeah. Guys, I'm telling you things that I've experienced. I'm not wagging my finger at you. Everything that I'm warning against is because I've done it. So I'll go on that coffee date to find out that she broke up with the 6'5" dude because he was borrowing her credit card. She had to give him rides because he didn't have a car. In one case, this girl I knew got into a fight with her new boyfriend over a Obama phone, an Obama tablet. Now, you guys know you have to pretty much be on welfare to even qualify for an Obama phone. And they got into a fight because he said it was hers, his. She said, I'm like, you guys are fighting over Obama phones? So, I mean, and here they are calling me back. Money, and why did they call me back? Well, and I'm not saying this is necessarily a thing you want a girl to focus on, but it's because comparatively to him, I'm rich. So comparatively to him, I'm not rich, but I'm saying compared to him. So money can equal height. Now, again, you don't want to lead with your money. We get all that, but I'm just saying if you're prosperous, it simply makes you more attractive. Now, I didn't say spend your money on her, spend all your money on her. In fact, my new mantra is spend your money on yourself. And I'm not talking about being cheap, but I'm just saying overall, spend your money on yourself, make yourself look good, make yourself look smooth, put yourself in top flight conditions, and women will like you automatically just because of how fly you are. Use your money to make yourself fly, and then women will appreciate your flyness. The same money you were going to spend on some girl to try to make her like you, in the hopes that you can make her like you, spend that money on yourself. Make yourself flyer. Get your teeth whitened. Get yourself a Gucci belt. And she's going to like you anyway because of how fly you are. And you didn't spend a dime on her. Now, I'm not talking about not paying for dinners or, not doing the things that you inherently know you should do on a date, or taking care of a girl that has pledged herself to be your girlfriend or your woman. I'm not speaking about that. I'm saying, though, but in terms of women you just met, or you're just getting to know, and you know how we do. I know how I've done it too, guys. Again, I'm not wagging my finger. I mean, I have bought girls so many gifts. All I needed was a sled and a red-nosed reindeer, and yeah, Santa called the union on me. Santa got his union rep to to cease and desist. So I've done it. I've done it. It doesn't work. It don't work. So spend your money on yourself, make yourself fly. Girls will like you anyway. But so having money is really for self-flyification. It's not really to spend on women per se. It's for self-flyification. Then girls will like you regardless. Now, when it does come time to take care of a woman, now let me back that up. You want to have the perception of being able to take care of a woman, so that woman knows if she was with you, you could take very good care of you. You could take very good care of her. So you want to have the car, the apartment or home, the clothes, the cash, the whatever, the trappings that demonstrate to a woman that if she was your woman, if she did pledge herself to you, you could take very good care of her. You want to give off that impression. But she also needs to know, under no uncertain terms, she needs to pledge herself to you in order to get that treatment. You're not going to get splurged on and taken care of, but you haven't pledged yourself to me. It's just not going to happen. We're not going around buying bags and shoes and stuff for women that have not pledged their loyalty to us. We're not doing it. But you want to have the lifestyle that demonstrates, hey, if you come to this side, you'll be all right. Yeah. So that's what having your income at an above average level does. Now, being above average in the United States puts you exceptional overseas. Because remember what I said, if you're short, you need to be exceptional in every other category. And this ties into what should really be the last thing. It's why I advocate dating overseas. Because whether it's right or wrong, whether anyone agrees with it or not, or thinks it's fair, it's simply easier to be exceptional overseas, depending on where you are overseas. It's just easier. But in order to be exceptional overseas, you have to be at least above average here. You see what I'm saying? Because, again, those women are waking up to the fact that your $1,500 Social Security check is not a lot. They're waking up to that. And so many Americans are now starting to move to catch on to overseas, to catch on to moving to Thailand and the Philippines and Colombia and wherever else. So many guys who make more than $1,500 a month are now starting to come there. And so they're now starting to realize, hey, I don't really have to be with a 63-year-old man who only makes $2,000 a month. Because they realize that even with your $2,000 a month, you're not living on the beach. You're really not, man. I was there, man. A person making $2,000 a month, man, their apartment is the size of, it's smaller than a 1-bedroom in America, man. Now, the condo facilities are very nice. Pool tables, pools, especially in Thailand. Fountains, all that. The actual apartment, it looks like a dorm in college, guys. It does. Most of their apartments look like dorms. That's not exceptional. Now, if she comes from a village where she didn't have no air conditioning and there's a bison that lives outdoors about she says good morning to a bison on her way to school, then yes, then maybe the 0-bedroom apartment that you have in Bangkok that's in a nice facility, maybe that is very exceptional to her. But then you're dealing with someone that might be a little below standard, which this is going to segue into the next video I'm going to do, because I'm about to end this because it's going on long. The next video I'm going to do is standards and what the standard is and should be in terms of the women we're trying to date here in Southeast Asia. Well, there in Southeast Asia and really Colombia too. But my stomping ground has been Southeast Asia, Philippines and Thailand. And in about a month and a half here, soon to be Vietnam as well. We've got to discuss standards. We have to discuss, what are we doing over there? What are we really after? Why did we go 6,000 miles, 7,000, 8,000 miles away? Why are we dating girls on the same 4s and 5s that we were dating in Bakersfield, California? Why? I don't want the same girl that I can get in Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I don't want that same level. I don't want a girl who resembles that. And another thing, and it took me a while, I really don't want a Thai girl that Thai guys don't want. I really don't want a Filipina that Filipinos don't want. I want I want the top of the line in whatever country I'm in. This madness where we're dating the bottom of the barrel, especially us, the sub-Saharan crowd, the sub-Saharan ancestry. Come on, guys. Us constantly dating the bottom of the barrel. No. Now, I know I have, we can always do better. I could do better too, but I never have dated the bottom of the barrel. Never. And I never will. And I'm not about to start now. I'm not about to go to 8,000 miles away and start dating bottom of the barrel. And some of the girls I'm seeing, guys, when I was there, and I don't mean just the blacks, I mean white guys too. I'm like puzzled. Why did you come here? And I get it, looks are subjective. And no, man, no, because we're Westerners. We all kind of have a general idea of what's attractive. There's no. So we also have to discuss standards. I'm going to give some examples of what my standard is and where I'm trying to go, and why getting yourself fully together is important. If you because in order to reach loftier standards, you have to be top. You have to be ship shape. You have to be squared away and put together. So the short kings out there, I want to do a challenge. I want us together to do what I say, 4 things. I want us within the next year to at least start the journey of learning a skill, joining a gym for health and musculature reasons, getting our finances right, and stepping up our fashion game. These are the 4 things that I want us together to challenge ourselves to do, to include me. I'm with you because I'm not where I want to be either. Let's get our finances together, at least, and by that, do one thing: put some money in the stock market. If you don't, I don't expect you to go out and get a corporate job. Just put some money in the stock market. Open up a Robinhood account and put some money in the stock market. $20, $30. Just put some money in the stock market. 2, step your fashion game up to the ability that your finances can afford. 3, develop a skill. I don't care if it's woodworking, a skill that could make you proud. Learn to sing, learn to dance, learn an instrument, or learn a battle skill. That's 3, that's right. That's 3. And 4, get in the gym. Get in the gym. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you're already short, you can't also be fat. And you can't also be scrawny. You can't be all the things. Short's enough. That's it. That's all you can afford. That's all you can afford. Because you can't control because there's 2 negatives that are happening. You're short and you're getting older. And those are 2 things you can't control, and they're 2 major negatives. So everything else has to be right. Get in the gym. And even for taller guys, any guy, no matter how you're clothes, don't get me wrong, it's always best to be fly. But if your body isn't at least 75% okay, if you don't at least look good if you don't at least look fit in your clothes, you don't have to have a 6-pack. It's best if you do. I got a long way to go, but I'm working on it. But you don't have to have a 6-pack. But if you don't at least look fit in your clothes, I'm telling you right now, it almost doesn't matter what you wear. It won't look right. It won't look the same. It's better. It's still better than dressing like a bum, because you can be the fat fly guy, but you look so much better in your fly gear if you're in shape. Getting in shape's imperative, guys. That's if you want to avoid, like I said, good luck. Every dog has its dayisms, where you just get a pretty girl every now and then on a whim, by luck, once every 3 years. We all, think about it. We are all able to attract a girl that we perceive as kind of out of our league, About once every 4 years, right? If you're out and about doing your thing and you're actually out meeting people, you kind of attract a woman that you're like, whoa, I can't believe she likes me. About once every 4 years, right? On average, tell the truth. Put it down in the comments. About once every 4 years. So yes, you can attract a very beautiful, a very attractive woman, but do you want to wait every 4 years? Because let's be honest, that's the interval. So you got to step the game up in order to make getting the women and getting the results you want to be more consistent. And not only that, just looking good and being fashionable and being fly and smelling good, that helps with everything. You'll get better deals at restaurants. You'll get your landlord to be nicer to you. The sales clerks will be nicer to you. It just helps all the way around. People trust you more. People offer you jobs. People offer, hey, you want to help me manage my bar? I mean, it helps all the way around. Plus, it helps your health, particularly on the workout part of that. So anyway, guys, this is your boy Prometheus signing off. Wish you the best. Till next time.